Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we're working on the EJ253 for the 2010 Subaru Impreza. We're working on the rotating assembly, honing the bores, installing new piston rings, and putting fresh bearings throughout. So stick around, here we go. This crank looks really good. Yeah, all the journals look really good. Seal diameters look good. Yep. This one had what, 140 or 160 on it. I'm gonna bring each half over here now and I'm just gonna kind of go over it, get the bearings out of it, and clean up or do whatever I can. So I'll take the halves over there also and blow them all out. Get the O-rings out. Maybe I'll scrape this all off, clean it up.
1 to 4.
All right, cool. And then they will be going into the ultrasonic bath. What's the temperature at in there?
Currently 20 C.
What is 20 C?
Not cold.
Oh, yeah, it's about 70 maybe. How many gallon is that?
Like 7.
7 gallon ultrasonic cleaner. All right. They put a lot of friggin' RTV on that oil pan. Watch your eyes. Gonna blast these boards a little bit with some PD blaster. So we're working on going into this oil groove and scraping that carbon out of there. Those are the weep holes for the oil that the oil scraper rings scrape down. Now, Toyota between 2007 and 2009 had a problem with their 2AZ FE motor, but these holes were too small and then carbon would block these holes and then the motor would start pumping oil. So now we're cleaning out these sweep holes with a drill. And what we noticed is that these holes were starting to get clogged up with carbon. You can feel it when you go through, you notice the...
Yeah, there's a drill bit. Should fit through, but it's not going through until I drill it.
Yeah. So that's carbon that's inside those weep holes. Today we're going to hone these bores. We're going to use the OEM adjustable tool. It's brand new, so... My dad had one of these, but the stones were all destroyed and they look pretty bad, but that's what happens when you have kids. Down there, those two things are the journals for the crank bearings. So we don't want to go all the way down with the hone, otherwise we'll end up chipping it up. We're going to use engine oil, just motor oil, and the drill, and we'll just go up and down. Okay, so that's what it was before, and now that's what I have just to start. So I will go through again. So cleaned up pretty good. We're going to be running in OEM Subaru parts. This is the bearing set for the connecting rods. And this is the front of the engine here. So it goes 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. These are the bearings. Come in a nice little package. Oh, look at that, they're already open. Alright, so this is kind of yucked up there. We're going to clean that off. Looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna take some Lucas. We're gonna get this Lucased up. Let's grab a bearing. 2 bearings. Have a little notch in them, so you see this little indent. They also have a corresponding little indent there. Just go through and make sure that's good and clean. And then when you put them in, just like so. Then you have a Subaru emblem, and you have numbers. The Subaru emblem faces forward. So put the emblem to the front, which puts our numbers to the bottom. Oh, that feels really nice. Okay, more. Okay, that feels about the same as this one, so okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some torque under there, try and hold everything together. Okay, a little bit, little bit. There we go. And there we go. That was perfect. Now we'll just see what we got here. Oh, that feels nice. Okay, that's a beauty. I'm going to turn this guy up. Now, I wish I had a little wedge to put under there. I can wedge this under there. Think that'll keep it? Tissue? Okay, nice. So now I'm going to grab number 2 rod. And then the number 2 cap. We're going to grab the hardware for number 2. Now it's time for main bearings. So we've honed the bores, and then we've pressure washed this whole entire thing to rinse everything really good. And these are our crankshaft bearing set. So this was, I stoned all this, and I got a little jiggy with it there, but this one came apart really difficult because it wasn't an accident. So the thrust bearing set will be going over here where it has the machine surface there. So we just take a look, make sure all this is good. Alright, so the holes are there. There's also a notch here, and there's a notch in the casting here, so we know where they go. Now we also have wide and narrow bearings, and you can tell that this, if you look, you can see this is narrow, this is wide, narrow, and wide. But there's only one set of thrust bearings, and if we tried to put these in over here, they won't go in, so they just don't fit. And I believe the feed for this is on the top side, so this one feeds, and this one gets fed from the top. Then we need a wide one with a notch. That look beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna put some lube in there, make sure these are nice and clean. Okay. And we're gonna just, this stuff sure flows a lot better when it's 70 degrees out. We're also gonna go on this thrust end here. Take some oil and we're gonna put it right on the thrust. Okay, so this block half, we've got O-ring that goes here, 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 and here. So we have 3 O-rings that need to go in, and we got some oil there. We'll get rid of that. So I'm gonna put the crank over into this one because of the O-rings, and then that way I can just set the other part on top. When putting on the RTV, you know, gotta go around these holes. We go around these holes just being certain not to get anything on the O-rings. So red is for, orange is for coolant, black is for oil. So we got those in. I searched kind of high and low for these. Part number 22069. It's spare gasket nozzles. So when you only get one in the tube, and usually this one gets all yucked up. I've got these then. And I bought a lot. Okay, let's get this opened up. That, use that little spear pit tip in there. Open. Then over here, this is the drain back for the back side of the rear main seal. Upsy daisy, stay, steady, steady. Okay, go. Okay, so we're gonna replace all of these washers. These washers have rubber O-rings on them. So let me go get them out of the kit. We'll use this little thing. Just fill that up. No muss, no fuss. All right. Give him a little dip. And then down we go. That thing turns buttery smooth, but it's not torqued down yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just snug them all up to like 20 foot-pounds to start, just so I know that I'm closed up somewhat. Equal. So this is A. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go, so the bottom, so now I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna hit C. Now I know we're pretty even, so now we're gonna crank her up to the 34.7, but I think I'm just gonna give it 35. So there's 34 and 35, okay. Now we'll just go through the whole thing again, and this being A down here, A. Beautiful, it is beautiful. This thing is butter. Just really turns like butter. I love it. Very smooth. All right, we're gonna get the first ring into the number 1 cylinder, and we're just gonna check the gap. Okay, in this gap we're looking for 0.2 to 0.35. Oh, 0.27. Okay, so it's about 0.25 on the piston ring gap, and that's good because we need 0.2 to 0.35. So this piston's got an R and it has a dot, so it's a right side, which would be passenger side, and then that dot faces the front, which is this way. And so now we can put rings in this thing. So we've gone through, we've cleaned the rings, we've cleared the oil passage ports, and now we're ready to put some rings in. So there's one lower ring, one expanding ring, and then an upper ring. One ring has a notch, one ring has nothing. So then when we look at this piston, we will see that if the piston is orientated with the top, this notch, and this ring, if I know it's very difficult to see, but there's a notch there that's going to go in the top. Let's go with this ring in there first. Okay, so if you go in there first, it goes right in. Now, this one's going to go on the bottom. What's important is you just want to make sure that it's not overlapped. Okay. It's not overlapped, right? Alright. That looks good. Okay, and I got one split there. So now the other split has to go right to here. And that's where this little lip is gonna go. So we want to drop him in. Now, so he went in. So we're just gonna work him down. Just gotta get this guy over here. Okay. And then that piece is right in there. So that's our first ring. That's our oil scraper set. Now, we're gonna grab a number 2 ring. Alright, then a number 2 ring has a little step. So it kind of comes out and it's a step and that goes down. Okay. So we're just gonna ease that guy on there. Alright, he's in that second groove. He's nice, it moves. Everything is free. I said free, so we're gonna clock this to there. So we're gonna clock it to the skirt, perpendicular to the wrist pin. And then the number one cylinder, or the number one ring. And the number one ring has a R. So that goes to the top, and we're gonna clock him this way. And then we're gonna just slide him on. There. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So we got that gap and that gap. Down here we've got the one ring in the groove. That's good. Everything's good. So we're gonna do all the pistons and then we will get them installed. Okay, so you can see this guy. Let's push him a little bit more. Okay, so this is the front of your piston. So you want to put your clip in here. Or we'll turn it like this. So we have two. These are the clips that hold the wrist pin from falling out. Let's make sure our rings are clocked properly. One there, one there. Let's get our orientation, our dot. Line up with the front and just tighten this up. So we can get a little bit of the skirt through. And we'll tighten this up a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now we're just going to put that in the skirt into the piston bore. There, looks good. Now, let's run this guy down there. Gonna tap that down. Going down nice and easy. Let's see, how does that look? Now, I think we should be able to take this pin now. We should be able to get this in there. Okay. There we go. Now we gotta kind of see where that piston is, where that rod is. There she goes, right in. And now we just push her all the way in. So now we can put the clip in. So it's really smooth. Okay, let's get number 3 in there. Enough shenanigans, I guess. Pretty nice. We don't have any no drag. We're good to go there. Okay. All right, let's get this turned over. All right, let me spin this around. Okay. Oh, got him. That's it. Perfect.